Hello everyone, today I'll be making a tier list of the current NBA teams for the 2021 season right now. So I'm not talking about the past accomplishments, what just happened in the bubble, not talking about what's going to happen like 5 years from now with all the draft picks for OKC. I'm talking about just for 2020-2021 season, what my tiers are for each of the teams. Let's get started. Philadelphia 76ers. So I guess we look at the roster. They have Al Horford. Mm, they have Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. Don't have Al Horford, but they have. It's not fully updated yet, and there could still be more trades that like I'm talking about right now. Still have the core with Daryl Morey potentially bring in more trades or more deals. So I would put them on the B tier because they still don't have the perfect shooting, and with Ben Simmons, we don't know what's happened since the playoffs yet. But you say they're an above average team with a top 10 player in Joel Embiid, but we don't know anything else. So their uncertainty, and given the past results and contract situations, and I guess just basically shooting, that's where I'd put them. The Washington Wizards, they didn't make the playoffs. John Wall, I think, is recovering, but he wants to be traded. So will they get Westbrook? Will they not? They still have Bradley Beal, and their Rui is developing pretty well, but I'd still put them at a C tier. They re-signed Dave Bertans, but I don't think. I think they're still developing. They they need a superstar, and Bradley Beal can't really carry a team to the playoffs. Atlanta Hawks. I'm actually putting them on a B tier as well. They signed the Bogdanovich guy, who will be solid. They still have Trey Young, John Collins. They have Kevin Herter, DeAndre Hunter. They pretty much have all their young guys still there developing, along with Trey Young, who still improved from his enormous season last year. As you can see, Trey Young averaged pretty much 30 and 10 almost last year. So, and yeah, although I guess their defense can improve, they're one of my dark horses to make a big impact. Kind of like the Dallas Mavericks last year when they improved to become like a playoff contender. Cleveland Cavaliers, they traded away Tristan Thompson. They only have Kevin Love, but is not really his Minnesota form anymore. They have a few young guys, but not much. The Detroit Pistons, basically Derrick Rose and a bunch of big men. No need to put them anywhere else. Indiana Pacers. It's a bit weird because we don't know what's going to happen to Victor Oladipo, but you still have Brogdon, still Miles Turner, Sabonis. I think they're still solid. Like, if they're trading Oladipo, they probably will get someone solid back. So I'd say they're B tier still. I'd put them a bit above the Atlanta Hawks, I guess, because they have more playoff experience and more experienced overall, especially on defense. But yeah, Milwaukee Bucks, even though losing some key players such as Wesley Matthews and all, they got Drew Holiday, they have Giannis, so still Chris Middleton. So I put them to S tier for sure. It's like you can't deny that they have actually made an improvement. Even though they lost a few players, they got better ones back. Toronto Raptors, I'd put in the A tier. I'm kind of debating between the B and A tier because they did lose Marc Gasol. They did also lose Serge Ibaka, who are like really helped with team chemistry. They really help for good defense. They're like part of the winning culture, and they got like Aaron Baines and Alex Len, who they could be really good under the system. We don't know yet. They could be an S tier team if Aaron Baines like becomes a reliable decent 3-point shooter, which he has shown flashes of in especially his 37-point game against the Blazers last year. But I'd still say they're solid. They have Siakam. They have resigned Fred VanVleet. They have Norman Powell. They have Kyle Lowry. OG Anunoby, their young guys are developing, so they're still solid playoff team. But yeah, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Dallas Mavericks, say is another A tier team as well. I'd actually put them above the Raptors because Luka Doncic could still improve. They they I think they made a big trade. Um, they traded away Seth Curry, which isn't that good. But they Kristaps will be a bit more healthy, but it's kind of uncertain where he will be. So I guess I put them around the same level as the Raptors. They do have Luka Doncic. I think it's a top 5 player right now. And yeah, very solid team indeed. Denver Nuggets, I'd say they're an S tier. Well, actually, I'll put one more tier. Um, mm, I'd row below. Oops. So I'd actually put, I guess, a new tier. So an A plus tier. And I'd put the Denver Nuggets there. I'd say they're better than the Raptors and Mavs for sure because they have Murray and Jokic. Both of them could pretty, if they keep up their playoff performance, they'd pretty much both be like both top 10 players for sure. Given if you watch Murray against the Nuggets and the Clippers, yeah, I don't think they're the Bucks level yet in terms of like defense and overall. I'd say in terms of defense and like just a solid rotation because they traded away Jeremy Grant, but they're still a very, very, very good team. Grizzlies, um, they have Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, Valanciunas, a bunch of young players. I'm not sure. I'd say they're still in the B tier, better than the Hawks, of course. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard. I think they're a very good team. They're like the 8th seed last season. They definitely for sure could improve. They got Rookie of the Year, but I don't know. They don't really have any big superstars or any star power. I guess Morant's gonna come up, but still, not too sure about that. So the Timberwolves, they got the first overall pick, Anthony Edwards. They have Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell. It's either between B and C. I don't want them to put them with the Wizards because I think the Wizards with John Wall, they're okay, but that's just the Wizards are like right between C and D. But yeah, I'd have to put the Timberwolves at like B minus C plus, just because I don't know their defense is a suspect. Not really too sure. It's like even though they had like good rosters in the past, they I don't know, they just couldn't take advantage of it. Spurs I also put as a C surprisingly. Like DeRozan is very solid, but is getting old. So is LaMarcus Aldridge. They have a few young guys. Rudy Gay's also getting really old. So I'm not like they pretty much have to be rebuilding soon, but they could squeak up to B tier if DeRozan like performs like last year, performs well, but they probably won't make the playoffs. Jazz I'd put at the A tier. They re-signed Donovan Mitchell to the max. Rudy Gobert's still pretty uncertain, I guess, after next season, but they still have their core. They have Bogdanovic is back after missing the playoffs. Mike Conley's still there. I think their whole roster is still there. They have very good defense. I would put it at like A plus, but I'm not like Rudy Gobert is not that good offensively, and I'm not really like Mike Conley's also getting a bit old. I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like Donovan Mitchell's just carrying the team, even though the rest of the team is pretty good defensively. But yeah, I'd put them like A, one of the better A teams given their playoff run. Not really playoff run, but like Mitchell could still improve and all. I don't know. A's for sure. Clippers. I don't know. I'd actually put them in the S tier, even though they got destroyed by the Nuggets last year. I'd still say if they fix their issues with the new coach Tyronn Lue and everything else like that, they're S tier because they have Kawhi and Paul George. Like PG, Paul George was like first team All NBA 2 seasons ago. He was like one of the highest scores in the league, like 27 points, very good defensively. If like Kawhi and Paul George can get their act together, they also picked up Serge Ibaka, who's like much better than Harrell. Like he could Serge can be decent at threes, good solid in defense as well. Like they could spread the floor a bit more if they play Serge at the five. Like Williams will be leaving, but I still say Clippers is very, very, very solid. Phoenix Suns, I actually put it in the B tier. Like they went off in the bubble. They have Devin Booker. They have got Chris Paul now. I'm not sure how good CP3 will perform. So if CP3 like goes OKC mode and Devin Booker goes like bubble mode, then I could put them at around A. But I think B tier is fair enough. They likely could make the playoffs this year, but I'm not sure because Aiton has to be healthy and not I guess not suspended like he was part of last season. But yeah, they're a very solid team. Blazers, kind of hard to decide as well. They lost to Hassan Whiteside, which not even a big deal at all. They have Lillard, McCollum. They barely made the playoffs last year. I'd put them in the B tier as well. Like they have Lillard as a superstar. Nurkic is back. McCollum's still there. I don't know. Let's see Blazers roster. Like yeah, I don't really like yeah. Melo is back, but aside from that, they have decent role players. But given we saw what happened in the playoffs, and I don't know, so given that they barely made the playoffs, I'd still put them as B tier. Kings, D, lost Bogdanovic. They have Fox, Hield, and Bagley Jr., but maybe they could develop a bit more, but I don't see them. I don't think their system as a whole is that good. Knicks, D, obviously. They made some moves, but I don't know. They didn't seem like they did that much stuff. Pelicans, I'm actually putting them in the B tier. It's because Zion. I'm not sure what happened to Zion, but he's one of the main factors that, and I think they could be a tier team if everyone performs well. Because I'm pretty sure they got Bledsoe or something. I'm not sure, but they got Ingram, they got Williamson, Zion. I think they re-signed Derek Favors, but they're I don't know. I just feel like they could be doing good this year. They got Lonzo Ball. If he shows up as well, then yeah. But I don't know. They're all right. I'd say they're like B minus C. I'm not sure how Zion would do. Hornets, even though they have LaMelo Ball, I'd still put them C. Yeah, they have Rozier. They have LaMelo Ball, Devontae Graham. I don't know, they don't really have much, but they're not completely horrible, I guess. They signed Gordon Hayward. If he could get back to his old form since he's like first or second option now, then I think they'll do pretty good relatively to previous years. Houston Rockets. It's very hard to. I don't know. This one's kind of a toss up because the regular season didn't start yet. But I guess as of now, I put them as in the B tier because they basically lost a lot of their role players. Like Austin Rivers gone. They traded for Ariza and traded him away. They don't have I don't know. They have PG Tucker still, but they have Harden and Westbrook. But I don't know. There's rumors and all, but yeah, I'm not too sure how they would do. Miami Heat. I know they destroyed the Bucks. They completely shut them down last year. But I'm not sure. Like, I know Jimmy Butler is like in the playoffs, he's basically a top 5 player. And they made the finals. They actually took the Lakers to 6 games, but they signed Bam. Okay, I'll give them recency bias and put them in the S tier. It's like they're shooting, I guess, like in terms of spacing, like Jimmy Butler and Bam, they could make some things a bit inconsistent, but very good defense. So yeah, I think if like Duncan Robinson keeps up his what he did last year and Tyler Harrow also improves, then yeah. Chicago Bulls, D. Brooklyn Nets, they have KD now. They might get Harden. I don't know, but I'll put them as B tier. They made the playoffs last year without KD. Now we have KD, but there might be more chemistry issues with Kyrie and all that, but I still put them as B tier. I'm not doubting them, but like, given KD's injuries, Kyrie's injury problems, like they both have injury histories, so I'd still put them there. OKC, they traded away like most of their like CP3, Gallinari, Adams. They only have Gilgis Alexander to develop, I guess, and like Lou Dort and some other young people. So they have a bunch of draft picks they could trade for and all that. I put them as D, but they could be a bit higher if coaching is really good like last year. And yeah, Golden State, basically, James Wiseman, not sure how he'd do, but Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry trio. Steph might be a bit injury prone, so I put them as like B plus, A minus. I can't put them in the A tier because like as soon as they lost Curry last year, everything went downhill. You don't have Clay for sure. So yeah, Celtics, I'll put in the A plus tier. Like they only lost Hayward, who was who I guess contributed a bit, but they have their core back. Like Tatum, who's going to his fourth season now. Um, yeah, Brown, Lakers, obviously S tier. Magic didn't really do much actually. So I kind of want put them in a C plus tier, but they didn't make the playoffs last year and the last few years actually. But it seems like some teams improved while they didn't. I don't know. The East is weak, so yeah, I gotta put them in the C tier. So yeah, I guess this is my tier list. There's some like things as of right now, end of November 2020 for the next season. I'll probably make a new one when more news arrives, but yeah.